I mean, if you could go back in time to be on the set of any movie ever, what would it be?
Maybe Braveheart.
Have you ever wondered what happened to the cast of one of Hollywood's most iconic epics? Braveheart came out in May 1995 and changed everything. It won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. It grossed over $209 million worldwide. But that was 31 years ago. The warriors who charged across those misty hillsides have lived entire lives since then. Some became legends, some walked away, and one never got to see how deeply his performance would be remembered. Let's go through them, one by one. Number 1. Mel Gibson. In 1995, Mel Gibson was already a household name. Mad Max, the Lethal Weapon franchise, he had the audience before Braveheart even started. But Braveheart was different. He directed it while simultaneously delivering one of the most raw, physically demanding performances of his career. At 39, he was in peak form, and the Academy rewarded him with Best Director. After the film, he directed The Passion of the Christ in 2004, a deeply controversial biblical epic shot entirely in Aramaic and Latin, which somehow became the highest-grossing R-rated film in North American history at the time, earning over $611 million worldwide. Then came a very public fall. A drunk driving arrest in 2006, followed by a string of damaging recordings and accusations, made his name toxic in Hollywood for years. Work nearly disappeared entirely. But Gibson came back. Hacksaw Ridge in 2016 earned him another Oscar nomination for Best Director. As of 2026, he is working on Lethal Weapon 5, which he is both directing and starring in, and is currently in production on The Resurrection of the Christ, filming at Cinecittà Studios in Rome. He is 70 years old, silver-haired, and still very much in the game. And Gibson was not the only one from that cast who built something extraordinary after Braveheart. The man who played his closest friend went on to become one of cinema's most celebrated actors. Number 2. Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson was 39 when he appeared as Hamish Campbell, Wallace's fiercely loyal best friend. His physicality and warmth made Hamish one of the most beloved characters in the film. What makes his story remarkable is that he did not commit to acting full-time until he was in his mid-30s. He had been a secondary school teacher in Dublin before walking away from the classroom to pursue the screen. Braveheart was his big American breakthrough. After the film, he became one of the most reliable performers in the business. His range across decades has been genuinely impressive. He played Alastair Mad Eye Moody in multiple Harry Potter films and received his first Golden Globe nomination for In Bruges in 2008. Then, in 2022, at 67 years old, he received his first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for The Banshees of Inisherin. In 2026, he is starring in Spider Noir on Amazon Prime alongside Nicolas Cage, filming The Weir in Ireland, and has joined the cast of Dexter, Resurrection Season 2. He is 71 now and nowhere near done. Number 3. Brian Cox. Brian Cox played Argyle Wallace, the uncle who takes in young William after the deaths of his father and brother. It was a warm, grounded performance that anchored the film's opening. Cox had already been in the industry for decades by the time Braveheart arrived. He played the original Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter back in 1986. He appeared in The Bourne Identity, X2, X-Men United, and Troy. He won 2 Laurence Olivier Awards for stage work, and yet mainstream audiences still had not fully caught on. That changed with Succession. His performance as Logan Roy, the terrifying volcanic patriarch of a crumbling media dynasty from 2018 to 2023, made him a genuine cultural icon. He won a Golden Globe and a Screen Actors Guild Award for the role. In 2025, he released Glenrothan, a film he wrote, directed, and starred in himself. Described as a love letter to Scotland, premiering at the Toronto International Film Festival. In 2026, Cox has joined Dexter, Resurrection Season 2 as a series regular and has Super Troopers 3 in the pipeline. He turned 80 in June 2026, still working, still commanding every room he enters. Number 4. Sophie Marceau. Sophie Marceau was already a deeply celebrated star in France before Braveheart. She had been a national icon since La Boom in 1980 when she debuted at just 14 years old. Braveheart gave her the international stage. Her portrayal of Princess Isabel brought intelligence and elegance to a film that was otherwise mud-caked and violent. 4 years later, she played the Bond villain Electra King in The World Is Not Enough and delivered genuine menace. What sets Marceau apart is that she never chased Hollywood. She once said she does not call studios asking for work, and that if people want her, they will find her. She has lived by that. She has written and directed 5 films of her own. Her debut feature, Parlez-moi d'amour, won Best Director at the Montreal World Film Festival in 2002. France honored her with the Officier dans l'Ordre des Arts et des Lettres in 2003. She publicly refused the Legion of Honor in protest against its awarding to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Sophie Marceau turned 60 in November 2026. Reports from late 2025 indicate her new film LOL 2.0 is arriving this year. She is still acting, still directing, and still entirely on her own terms. Now, there is one cast member whose post-Braveheart journey is unlike anyone else on this list, because he actually came back to play the same character 2.5 decades later. Number 5. Angus Macfadyen. Angus Macfadyen was born in Glasgow in 1963 and gave one of the film's most quietly compelling performances as Robert the Bruce, a man torn between personal ambition and moral courage. After Braveheart, he worked steadily across film and television. He appeared in Equilibrium alongside Christian Bale in 2002. He played the pirate Blackbeard in the historical series Black Sails and took on the role of Robert Rogers in Turn, Washington's Spies. In 2021, he played Jor-El, Superman's father, in Superman and Lois Season 1. But the chapter that still surprises people came in 2019, when Macfadyen was cast as the lead in Robert the Bruce, a direct legacy sequel to Braveheart, 24 years after the original film. He returned to the same character as an older, battle-worn king, trying to keep Scotland's hope alive after Wallace's death. It was a deeply personal project, and he carried it with real authority. He is 62 years old in 2026, and he remains the only actor in this entire cast who went back to his Braveheart character after all these years. Braveheart also gave the world a villain that critics and audiences still talk about today. And the story of the man who played him is one of the most bittersweet in the film's history. Number 6. Patrick McGoohan and Catherine McCormack. Patrick McGoohan played King Edward I, Longshanks, with a cold, surgical cruelty that set the standard for royal screen villains for years to come. A critic for the Los Angeles Times wrote that he had perhaps the most villainous enunciation in the history of acting. McGoohan had been famous in Britain for decades, particularly for the landmark 1960s series The Prisoner. He was 66 years old when Braveheart was filmed, bringing 40 years of experience to every single line. His final screen role was a voice performance in the 2002 animated film Treasure Planet. Patrick McGoohan passed away on January 13, 2009, at the age of 80. Catherine McCormack played Murren, Wallace's young wife, whose murder sets the entire story in motion. It was a role that required enormous emotional gravity in very little screen time, and she delivered it fully. After Braveheart, she appeared opposite Brad Pitt in Spy Game in 2001, starred in 28 Weeks Later in 2007, and worked with Emma Stone in Woody Allen's Magic in the Moonlight in 2014. She also played Mrs. Robinson in a stage production of The Graduate at the West Yorkshire Playhouse. McCormack is 56 in 2026 and has maintained a steady, respected career built entirely on craft. And then there are the faces you might not have known by name in 1995, but very likely know today. Number 7. The supporting cast members. Tommy Flanagan played Morrison, one of Wallace's fighters, in his feature film debut. The Glasgow-born actor, recognizable by the deep facial scar he has carried since a teenage attack, used Braveheart as his launchpad. He appeared in Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down and then landed the role that defined his public identity, Chibs Telford in FX's Sons of Anarchy, a role he played for 7 full seasons from 2008 onwards. And he was far from the only actor whose career exploded after stepping onto the battlefield. James Cosmo played Campbell, Hamish's grizzled father. After Braveheart, he appeared in Trainspotting in 1996, played Father Christmas in The Chronicles of Narnia in 2005, and later went on to play the role of Commander Jorah Mormont in Game of Thrones until the character's death in 2013. But perhaps no supporting character left a stranger or more unforgettable impression than this next one. David O'Hara played Stephen of Ireland, the unpredictable, wildly entertaining Irish fighter. He went on to appear in Martin Scorsese's The Departed in 2006 and the action film Wanted in 2008. All 3 of them turned a single film into a career foundation. And that, perhaps better than anything else, tells you what kind of project Braveheart actually was. It did not just launch one career, it launched almost everyone who walked across that field. 31 years ago, one line cut through everything. "They may take our lives, but they will never take our freedom." That cry launched 5 Oscars, $209 million, and careers that have stretched across 3 decades. So, which one of these actors' journeys did you like the most? Drop your thoughts about this in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel for more crazy updates like this one.